I have always loved video games, especially Mario games, until one thing happened to me a while ago which made me hate Mario games for a good long while until it was safe to play them again. I was playing Super Mario World, my favorite Mario game. But then one day, I gave it to my friend Joe to borrow for a while. He then accidentally dropped it and broke it, and since it was really old I found it hard to find a new copy for a good price. So I could not buy a new copy of it, but I remembered I had a friend who had the game but didn't really like it, so I called him asking him if I could have it, and he said sure, knowing that he never used it. It was the Gamma Boy version game. I had hoped it was the SNES version of it, but I was happy regardless. A few days later we had at the discussed location at Starbucks, we had some coffee, we talked for a bit, then he gave me the game. I then proceeded to go home with a smile on my face, happy that I could play again. By the time I got home it was pretty late, so I decided to go to sleep before playing the game. That night I had a horrible dream about the game. What happened in the dream was, I was playing the game, enjoying it quite a lot. Then on one of the levels, instead of saying the level's normal name, it said, "Do you want to know my secret?" with a Mario face smiling under the text. Then the screen went black as if it were starting the level, but instead it went back on the same screen except without the text. Mario's face started to be screwed around with, like in Super Mario 64. It then started transforming into a demon and eating Luigi. It then looked at me and said, "You're next." I then woke up sweating and breathing heavily, then quickly calming down, realizing it was a dream. I then proceeded to go back to sleep and the dream had not come back. Luckily I woke up again really excited to play the game. I proceeded to grab the cartridge and my Gamma Boy, but I quickly became unsure, remembering the dream I had just had the night before. But I soon put the cartridge and I turned on my Gamma Boy, praying that nothing would happen, and both did. It went all normal to my surprise. I had played the game normally until World 3 Level 2. It was like in my dream, renamed "Do you want to know my secret?" but there was no Mario face. I then continued, hoping it was just some Easter egg put in by the developers, and at first I actually thought it was, because that was the only weird thing that's happened in that level, but not in the next level. In the next level nothing weird happened but some graphic glitches, but every level kept getting weirder for the rest of World 3 and all of World 4. Every level would have graphic glitches, each level having the worst than the last. Then in World 5 the same thing happened, but with text boxes popping up randomly. This continued happening through the whole game, each world adding a new effect. World 6 added sprites popping up in weird places, and World 7 made it so the game would crash a lot. But somehow I still made it to Bowser's Castle. Surprisingly, it looked all normal in Bowser's Castle, but then the game crashed one last time. I rebooted the game and went back into his castle, but then all the doors were replaced with sprites of characters and enemies, each having text above them. The first was a Goomba. It said, "Please turn off the game and burn it." Next was a Cooper. It said, "It's the only way to save us." The third one was Luigi, who said, "Please, before he gets you too." Last was a Mario sprite who said, "You should have turned it off." His neck then broke and the power went out. I then felt like I was gonna die if I didn't get out of the house fast, so I left and I ran a good block away. Something in my body then told me to go back, and I did not feel like I was in danger, so I went back. What I saw was absolutely horrible. My whole family was dead. That alone made me burst into tears. Of course, but what was even worse was they had a giant M carved into their heads with a note saying, "This is my secret, don't tell